Senator Oded.
Thank you. We've heard in the media and also heard today that diplomats have been meeting with representatives of the Taliban in Qatar. I'm not sure that last bit is completely correct, but I heard that today. How does that, how is that not in contravention of the criminal code as you have stated?
So, as I said, our senior representative for Afghanistan is based in Doha in Qatar. That is why many of the meetings that he is conducting are taking place in Qatar. So he's based there in a very small office, and he coordinates with allies, and he holds a number of meetings there. He has had informal meetings as with a range of stakeholders to get as much information as possible about which will inform Canada's position and our ongoing engagement to assist the people of Afghanistan. His meetings have included meeting informally with Taliban officials to share Canada's priorities. And this is not in contravention of our criminal code obligations. And I'd invite my legal colleagues.
Just for clarification, so
Meetings with the Taliban after they took over, but there were conversations that were happening even before Taliban took over. Am I correct in that?
I don't think I could confirm that these are continuation of conversations that took place before.
No, not continuation, but I know that when the Taliban, they had an office in Doha and various countries were engaging with them. Was Canada engaging with them in any conversation then?
Not that I'm aware of.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I really wanted to focus on how is it legally possible for our diplomats to meet with the Taliban, which is a terrorist-declared organization, and it's illegal for international aid and international aid actors in Canada to provide aid to women and children. I can't cross that bridge in my mind, so please help me.
Perhaps, excuse me, perhaps I can be of some help here. It's not a crime to be a member of a terrorist group in Canada. The offenses that are set out in the criminal code rely on conduct that person must engage in. Unlike some other countries, for example, such as England, where being a member of a terrorist group is a crime, we have an offense in Section 83.18 of the Criminal Code that it's a crime to directly or indirectly contribute to or participate in any activity of a terrorist group for the purpose of enhancing the ability of any terrorist group to commit a terrorist activity. In other words, the mere fact that you're a member of a terrorist organization does not give rise to criminal liability. What does give rise to criminal liability is the actions you engage in support of the terrorist group. The terrorist group itself might engage in terrorist activity, and that's and
therefore I'm assuming that what you mean by that is when Canadian international aid organizations engage in Afghanistan with humanitarian impetus, that is in fact supporting in one way or the other. I'm trying to tease this apart, please.
No.
Maybe I can clarify
help.
a bit. I think what this committee has heard, and before the House as well, is a concern about, one of the concerns particularly, is about humanitarian organizations operating in Afghanistan and paying taxes and other fees that benefit the Taliban. So there the offense is the provision of financial benefit to the Taliban. You would not do that if you just meet them in a boardroom.
yeah.
So I'm trying to find a way out of this. I really respect your testimony and the constraints you are under in responding to some of our questions. I do want to underline that. But I'm trying to find a way forward. So whilst Canada and you good people are trying to figure out the solution and to deal with the blockage in the criminal code, etc., is there an interim measure that can be proposed that would unlock humanitarian aid without fear of prosecution? Is there an interim measure?
under the constraints under which we operate, I can say that you have heard some proposals. I've flagged some potential concerns with those. The government has said they are looking at measures, including legislative. I appreciate I'm not being very helpful, but I
So
don't.
you have thought about interim measures?
We have thought about many things.
You have thought about,
Including interim
okay.
measures.
So I'm hearing you say yes. Thank you. I'll leave it at that.